Hi, everyone. I'm Steve. I'm a health club owner. I've been a health club owner, multiple health clubs for over 30 years, and a gym rat for 50 years. So I want to talk about 4 peptides that have changed my life, and I am absolutely amazed. I've been through it all, being in the gym through high school and college and playing college sports, football and baseball and so on, and just always being in the gym. And I've even done a few bodybuilding shows. I'm kind of embarrassed about that because I think they're kind of silly, but I did them. Um, and so I've looked, and now I'm 63 years old right now. Been in the gym since I was 12. And so I want to talk about these 4 peptides and what I'm doing. If you have questions, put them in the comment section. I'm going to be doing more videos with some of our personal trainers about retatrutide and other things. This is not one of the peptides, but we are going to be talking about that and what that seems to be doing with some of the experiments that we're doing. So let me just say, this is just what I'm doing. I'll give you the name of a place where you can talk to a doctor and they can prescribe some stuff that's like this, or at least similar. I'll give you a couple of them. They'll be in the links there'll be links in the description and who to talk to and all that. So I just want to tell you that about, I'd say 7, 8 years ago, I've always done body scans. And the guy that did the body scan said my right bicep, he asked me, hey, did you injure that or something? Because it looks like it. And I go, why? He goes, it's smaller. It's been about a half inch to almost an inch smaller than my left bicep. And my right arm is my dominant arm. It should be bigger. And it's been that way for a long time. I've been getting some treatments from a chiropractor who's in one of our gyms. And he said, yeah, you've got, bicep issue there. And it wouldn't build. It was just slowly getting smaller. And where my left arm isn't, my left bicep. So the first peptide I want to talk about is what I've used, and that's BPC1. So what I've been doing for about the last 2.5, 3 months is just injecting it right here up in my lower deltoid. And that's what I've been doing. And it's been absolutely amazing. So that's the first one. The second one that you do with this usually is TB500. TB500, I've been just doing in my left hip. I've got a little, my back kind of bugs me sometimes. And I'm realizing this stack is called the Wolverine stack. Um, I've been using it, like I said, is maybe as long as 3 months. And the first thing I noticed was I go in and I'm doing incline bench press, and my intensity level, if you guys watch my channel, you know that I don't push it too hard. I want to make sure I don't get injured. I don't do risky things in the gym that could injure me because I don't want to miss tomorrow. I don't want to, an injury at my age, 63, could set you back a year. And I don't want that to happen. I want to be able to continue to go into the gym. But somehow I'm like going, that seems easy. That seems easy. I was on the incline bench and it gets up to like 225. And 225 on the incline bench is not bad for anybody, not even a young guy. And, I did 5 reps, did it again, and I did 7 reps. And I go, you know what? I left 3 in the tank. I could have done more. So the next week I went in, when I was due to do this again, and I put 225 on the bar and I did 10 reps and I still left 2 in the tank. I could have done more. I was blown away. I've been able to train more intensely and do more volume, do more work, and I'm recovering and my joints aren't sore. I think it's because of the TB500 and the BPC157. And I'm realizing as you age, as you're lifting weights and so on, the muscles are going to recover. It's the connective tissue. It's the joints that don't recover as fast. Now, I'm just telling you what I've done, and like I said, there'll be links to where you can talk to professionals. I'm not a medical professional, so don't do anything because I'm doing it. You need to talk to your own physician or talk to Royal Medical or InVigor and see what they can do. Those are two places. You can use the promo code Vitality1. I don't know if I get anything or anything like that, or you might, but you might not. With the testosterone you do with Royal Medical, but just mention it, uh, and they'll take care of you. So I'm realizing that, you know what? I think because of these two peptides, for me, I think my connective tissue, my joints are recovering faster from a workout, and I can lift heavier and more intensely because my joints are recovering. The tendons, the ligaments, the connective tissue is recovering faster. So that means I can train harder, heavier, and when you recover faster, I'm actually getting bigger, but I'm also getting leaner at my age. And what amazes me about that is that being 63, how do you make gains? Now, look, if you've seen the picture, my profile picture, I was 24 years old and on a lot of gear. And so I'm never going to look like that again because I'm never going to do that again. And I'm never going to be 24 again. But it's really surprising me. I'm putting muscle on at my age. And what's amazing about that is I've done it for so long. How do you or maybe I'm not putting muscle on, I'm saying I'm getting some back. That's a better way to put it. I'm getting some muscle back that I had maybe 30 years ago from lifting weights. I'm getting some back. It makes more sense to me than I'm putting muscle on because I'm not going past where I was, but I am getting some back that I had when I was 30. And that is amazing me because I'm 63. So those two peptides, BPC157 and TB500, are helping me recover. I'm noticing it after about 2-3 months. It's making a difference. My bicep, which was a ½ inch to an inch smaller, went in, got a body scan. It's the same size as my left arm now. Just putting it right there in my right lower deltoid, close to my bicep. It's the same size. How did I gain over a ½ inch in my bicep in 2 or 3 months? That's insane. That's because of the healing. It has to be. So the next one that I want to talk about is Tessamoralin. Tessamoralin is a growth-releasing hormone, and I take it at night. Again, I get that from Royal Medical. You can talk to these both places. You can look them up online and see what InVigor has and what. You do get $10 off at InVigor, and I really like the NAD there. Not talking about that today either, but that's a great one. Doctor writes a prescription. It's all on the up and up. So the Tessamoralin, the growth hormone releaser, take that at night. I've been sleeping really well. I always sleep well, though. I guess I've been pretty fortunate about my health. I eat well. I don't eat junk. I go out to eat with my wife, a couple times a week, but we go to nicer restaurants and we know that we're eating food that's not harmful to us, so to speak. So the other one I take with the Tessamoralin is Impamoralin, and that one is also a growth hormone secretagogue. I think that one's a growth hormone releasing peptide. It's a little different. It works on the ghrelin, but that combination really works well. Now I know that Royal Medical has the CJC and the Impamoralin together. CJC is similar to Tessamoralin, but Tessamoralin is FDA approved to reduce visceral fat, which is amazing. Visceral fat is the internal fat. Again, if you watch my channel, I'm always talking about drum belly, where, it's the pot belly that's like a drum. It's hard. That's because of the internal fat. Again, I'm just a a gym rat that's been in the gym for 50 years. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying doctors know really anything about this, because most of them probably don't. But I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert. But I did stay at a Holiday Inn a couple of years ago. So I did do that. But that being said, I have a lot of experience. So those two, Impamoralin and Tessamoralin, take them at night, and that really seems to work. You can replace the Tessamoralin with CJC 1295, which Royal Medical does do, and they do a combination. So if you guys have questions about what I'm doing, those are the 4 peptides. I got my blood work done. My blood work is near perfect. I mean, it's right where I want it to be. I should also say I'm doing TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, a very small dose, but my body responds very well to it. I only do like 190 to 100 milligrams a week, which is a very dinky dose of testosterone. It's not very much. Royal Medical, also I have doctors there. And I do it 3 times a week with an insulin needle and a very, very small dose, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It keeps my testosterone right there. And my testosterone's coming in at about 1,000, which is really, really good considering it was at 300 before the TRT. But now coming in at about 1,000, I just got it checked a couple weeks ago, and it's dialed in. My liver enzymes, everything is dialed in. And the Tessamoralin also will help clean up your liver and get rid of liver fat, the fatty liver, and it's FDA approved for that. So I'm not just pulling stuff out of my butt. But then again, you talk to these doctors, you can't just take my opinion, and everyone's different. If you listen to my channel, you hear me say that all the time. Everyone is different. So those 4 peptides have amazed me, and I'm using other peptides. I'm doing some other things, some really interesting ones, because I've always liked to do research on me. I've been doing it since I was a kid. If somebody told me cod liver oil would make my quads bigger, then you know what? I took a lot of cod liver oil, or whatever it was. Bee pollen. Bee pollen will make your lats bigger. Okay, I'm taking bee pollen and cod liver oil in college because I heard it would do something good. So I've always been like that. Maybe I'm a little off, but I like to try stuff. So I'm always experimenting on myself and doing research on myself to see what things do. But everyone's different. I know I sound like a broken record when I say that, but everyone is different, and you don't know how your body's going to respond to a certain number of carbohydrates, to a certain amount of protein. And the basics is where you want to start, getting your macros right for you. But your perfect macros are different than my perfect macros. And your perfect macros as a 20-year-old were different than your perfect macros at 63 years old. How do I know? Because mine are different. I don't eat the same way. I don't eat the way I did when I was 20. It's very different. And my macros are different. My calories are different, and so on. My body responds differently. So with these peptides, have fun with it. Go search them. YouTube is a great place to find experts and people with experience with peptides. So do a YouTube search on the different peptides. Do an AI search on what peptides do this or that. There's a whole bunch of them. And the great thing about peptides is a peptide is a chain of amino acids, less than 50 amino acids. So what's so unique about that? Well, I guess it's not unique, but when we eat protein, our body takes the protein apart. Why? It takes it apart into amino acids, and it puts it in what's called an amino acid pool. Well, that's what most people call it, the amino acid pool. And then it's going to take those amino acids and put it together. It's going to make enzymes. It's going to make peptides, depending on what your body needs. So the peptides are just a signaling chain of amino acids that signal your body, tell your body to do something. It's very natural. It's not like taking a drug that's going to force your body to do something or force it to respond to a symptom. And that's what's amazing about them. Do some of your own research on these peptides. You can start with YouTube, like I said, and search different peptides and the ones that you're interested in. There's Glow is another stack, which is the Wolverine stack, which I mentioned, with the copper peptide. And that's for your skin. Peptides to make you look tan and to remove inflammation. There's all kinds of stuff, but you've got to do your own research. Find a doctor that's familiar with this stuff and talk to that doctor and go from there. But it's been really exciting for me because it's like I'm doing things that I couldn't do, and my body fat, I'm getting leaner and leaner and leaner. I think I might be able to get to 10% body fat. I'm at about 12 right now. Maybe a little over, maybe a little under, but I'm checking my body composition in 3 different ways. And the highest gets me a little under 14 and the lowest gets me in the mid 10s, the different ways. So I'm figuring, okay, I must be around 12. But do some research on these peptides. If you have questions, put them in the comment section and tell me. Not only are you telling me, but you're telling everyone that reads the comments what you have tried, what you're doing, what you know about peptides, your opinion about peptides. Please put them in the comment section so that others can see who you are and what you've done and what your opinion is if you've used some of these and if you've got a doctor or whatever. So, as always, thanks for listening to me. I'm going to be doing some more, talking to some of our trainers and people who are trying some of these other peptides. So subscribe to the channel and hit the bell that tells you when we're going to do more videos or when a video goes out. And we're going to be talking a lot about these peptides. So thanks for being here.